Wasn't bad. They may be. Not ours, no, but absolutely.
All right, it's 7. You guys ready? Good evening. Let's call the Fairiesburg City Council meeting together. Agenda Monday, December 6th, 2021, 7 p.m. Let's have a roll call, please.
Mayor Blees,
Here.
Councilman O'Donnell,
Here.
Councilman Carlson,
Here.
Councilman Montgomery,
Here.
Councilman Sias,
Here.
Councilman Murdoch, Councilman Kate.
Here.
Let's rise for the invocation by Councilmember Kate.
Pray with me.
God of love, we trust in you with all our heart and lean not on our own understanding. We acknowledge you in all our ways and in all our meetings so that you will direct our paths. Father, we do not rely on ourselves for effective results, for we are only human and often make mistakes. It is you who knows all things. So, Father, have your divine way in this meeting. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God.
Okay, we're down to number 5. Public comments. This time on the agenda is for any citizen to direct brief comments or questions to the city council. Time for public comments will be given when an agenda item is discussed. If you have a comment or question, please raise your hand to be recognized by the mayor, and after being recognized by the mayor, please give your name, address for the record, and proceed with your comment or question. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Any public comments? Seeing none, we'll move. Whoa, you almost missed it. Come on up.
Mick Bricker, and I'm from Spring Lake. Do you need the exact address, or is that good?
Yes, please.
So it's 15656 River Run Drive, Michigan. Just wanted to say hi to the new council, and actually this is pretty exciting. So I'm going to continue my visits. Looking forward to it next winter and in the spring and summer. And still out there rocking it real hard. Campaign. I recently received personal endorsement by President Donald Trump for this. So if you like what you see from him, his policies, exactly what I am and who I stand for. If you don't like the guy, you don't like his policies, you don't like me. So let's shoot pretty straight with you. That's all I have. It's cold outside, and let's keep this rolling. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Any more public comment? Seeing none, we're going to move on. Number 6, consideration for approval of consent agenda. A, approve the November 1st, 2021 City Council meeting minutes as printed, and November 15th, 2021 City Council meeting minutes as printed. B, approve the schedule for actually 2022 City Council goals.
Your Honor, I'd move that we accept the consent agenda. Support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, moving on. Number 7, new business. 7,
Your Honor, don't we have to approve the minutes under 6A?
Another set of minutes,
Mm,
November
Don't we need
15th.
to-
yeah, you listed both of those.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Oh, I
November
thought I
1
thought
and
it-
15th.
Okay.
Did I?
Yes.
Okay.
I apologize.
All right, okay. 7, new business, A. Introduction of ordinance number 318, an ordinance to amend city code, chapter 154 zoning, article 4, special land uses, section 4.80, and article 9, district and district requirements, section 9.120, to allow and regulate accessory dwelling units in the L1, LI-1 zone district. Roger, did you want to speak on any of this, or at this time? Okay, come on up.
Keep everybody kind of in the dark, just a little bit. My voice is hoarse, so I can't speak very long. Therefore, you're in luck tonight. As you, for some of those you know me.
Can you state your name and address for the record, please?
Excuse me, yes. Roger Jonas, 16038 Upper Point Drive. I'm also chairman of the Planning Commission. Have been for lots and lots of years. Lived in Ferrysburg for 40 years. So I have a lot of what you call this. But, see, forward. Right there? Okay. I won't reread that because it's lengthy, but here's what I'm doing. There's some key words in here that I want you to take away. Induces, that's dwelling unit, light industrial. One is 1, 2, and 3. Three allows for the heavy industrial. 3 would be Johnston boiler, for example. We don't have that many one properties in the district. The next one, please. Here's where you've got here. A little bit over. Barely see it by the railroad tracks and the highway. See some of the development that the developer we're talking about. This is the property we had. A developer came to us and developed a number of properties in the city of Fairiesburg. They invested a lot of money in this part here, and they bought this city here a while back. 2 parcels of 12 parcels. That was put in a number of years ago by the city, by the way. And that was reinforced extra because it was a route for the planks trucks to go. That way, instead of going through the neighborhood streets. So in the meantime, the city sold this off to develop. This was LI1. Oh, this is, you can see, what, other residential, rural, Fairiesburg, of plumbing, and have a mixed area in there. And that's why this concept might just work. Next slide, please. This is a property in question, right off Carmen, and you can see looking back, this property back where the one set of storage areas was put. Next slide, please. And this, if you turned around, look the other way, down Carmen, housing, where you get to the industrial. Well, it's mixed to begin with. And of course, just because you zone it doesn't mean that's the way it's going to be built out. This is the way the city was doing it. Next slide. This is on the other end of the property. I'll show you the back of this. That's what these units look like without any dwellings in them. These are strictly storage units. They range anywhere from 800 to 1,500 square feet each. And they're all on the single. It's on a single floor. There's no upper floor to these windows down here just for light. You have a single door. Parking. It's also, next slide, please. It's also built where I showed you next to railroad track. All these were put in there, and that was what I call the highest and best use, that piece of property. Next to the railroad tracks, tucked next to the highway. What other use is there? Oh, good use. These are full. Big demand for them. Demand lies in people who want to store their boats inside, and in the summer, because they don't take them to other places to store. They work on cars. The straight line design has 2 units over there where they store a lot of their things that they need for their business too. So there's extra storage for that. A lot of different things. Next slide, please. And getting back to where the zoning is, I1. Record citation is. This current special land use, first of all, only applies to LI1. And second of all, special land use means that it doesn't go with all LI1s. It has to be approved individually, each property. It's safe. For blanks down here. Next slide, please. Oh, some of the concepts were if you added dwellings to these, what would they look like? I just pulled up some stock photos. Probably one is more of a farm storage shed than we proposed there. The concept slide, please. This is more like it, where you may see different things. I thought this is kind of clever. We don't have any hills like that in Ferrysburg, so forget that one. Grade separation, but more something like on these lines. Something built on like, you know, a small office or a section of there's just some ideas, and in addition to, I think council received back when this was originally introduced, some the stock drawings that were given then too. Just concepts, nothing has come to it, but concepts too, we think. Now, you have to realize in the city of Fairiesburg, Economic Development Task Force, and Bill and Scott are on that, along with myself, and we're looking at different ways of filling in infill properties and people to invest. And this concept may apply to startup businesses, incubator businesses, somebody who likes to tinker around and then rather than drive home Grand rapids, bunk down for the night. It's all kinds of things that you can use it for. Mixed use is not uncommon. Something we looked at for downtown area for that part of it, where it applies. And this seems to be this area where Joan Carmen, all the other residential in there, it's not taking away from anything else material. Couple more I use. But as it turns out, we have something like this in Ferrysburg. And this happens to be North Cove, and it's right next to Johnston Boiler. This was built, guess what, 1985, a mere 36 years ago. Now, for the first 11 years, it was not what you call a economic success. Matter of fact, the guy sold off only 2 of the 15 units, and 2 of them were owned by investors, and he finally had to go into kind of a liquidation sale in '96, which spruced them up. Then they started to take off. The demand for please, because what these are, this is looking at for Keenan, you can get some pretty big boats. So the concept was, bring your boat in, store it there, and you got a kitchen, got a bedroom, living room, got all that right there. I think a lot of people are living there year round too, because it's handy. And now, as it turned out, this guy that started this whole thing, originally the plan to develop this piece of property, exact number of units over here, over there. I'm not sure if Keenan owns that, or if Keenan owns that now. Anyway, that won't happen. Anyway, interesting idea. Probably would take off now, and somebody had the money. Anyway, 36 years ago, we embraced this concept, and it fit in for the use of the property next to Johnston Boiler. We made it fit for the berm in there. But anyway, and also a marina, it's on the water. Next slide, please. So that's, you can barely see this. There it is. About 19. Barely remember it, except I remember it being vacant a long time. And saying, boy, somebody who in the world in their right mind would buy a boatominium or a docominium, whatever you want to call them? And of course, what do I know? I thought a lot of the properties in downtown Grand Haven were a boondoggle too. Well, they turned out to be. And I bought in Harbor Point. Not too bad. I've got good neighbors. I've got 2 good neighbors.
Yeah.
Next slide, please. So getting back to zoning map, we look at this and say we've got only a few areas that are undeveloped in the city. Regular 74th that you all aware of. Some was in residential over near my neighborhood. We have very little left for industrial. This is all going to stay over plants, so the build out might be here. Now, is it possible somebody would like that for there? Something you take a look at, maybe rezone if you. We think that for the idea now we have a good investor who is willing to put money into the city of Ferrysburg, and it's got a kind of a concept which I think kind of neat, and it's not unique to Ferrysburg, been around for 36 years. These things are very common in Texas, called barn dominiums, and I know somebody, my niece's husband's mother has one in Texas, and she lives in the barn with her horses and their smithing shop and all that stuff. But that's way out, Illinois. we're talking about, number one, these units, storage units first, because they're light industrial, dwelling units second. Therefore, the parking requirements, which came up before, if we apply to storage unit, we're adding on the dwelling unit as an accessory, so the requirements for parking are not the same. Exactly. There were a couple other questions that came up too. Hope I addressed those, but I think it's kind of exciting. You look at this and say, hey, an old man like me, get excited about this. So, I think, maybe one more slide. Yeah, getting back to, this is what you're looking at. A lot of verbiage there. It really is just, amend, you're amending, which includes things I pointed out in full, fully part. And I think Tim had some questions about fire codes, fire safety. Everything applies to these units. You know what's in. If the sprinklers required, but they have to pass building inspector. Questions?
Only upper level can be residential,
That's correct.
nothing on the main floor.
That's correct.
Excuse me.
How about,
At the planning commission meeting, they changed that so that if the artist wanted to have something on their studio on the top drawer or top floor, they would live on the bottom floor. So the planning commission deleted the upper floor, just an accessory dwelling unit.
I thought we did. And the one example I showed, that picture showed we also put in there, can't be square footage for the residential can't be larger than the footprint of the building, first floor of the building. So again, dwelling is secondary to storage. Main purpose. So these don't turn into big. And also, the decks off the back are okay. We have limitations on the rooftop. That was to be used. And you got to thinking about rooftop. You have to have a flat roof if you're going to use it. Flat roofs are hard to drain and everything. And I'm not sure it would be appropriate. Something like this, I don't know. But it's wide open. So,
Roger, minimum square footage for a residence compared to this?
no, because residence is secondary storage.
So there's no minimum square footage required for the residence?
Correct.
Could just be a little studio.
Could be a studio, could be a bunk bed.
Okay.
Mr. Crash?
Roger, has the fire department signed off on this? I mean, I understand the requirement for sprinklers because the definition of light industrial use could include who knows what in the way of dangerous chemicals and what have you. Has the fire department signed off on this?
Well, they don't sign off beforehand because there's nothing to sign off on. You don't have enough information about what's going in there. So the building inspector has to go through and see. So everything applies, same codes apply to everything else, but you can't do it ahead of time.
Okay.
Because you don't know who's going to buy them.
I did check into that, and the all the codes for it have to meet industrial codes. So
I understand the codes. It's
Right.
just, I didn't know if the fire department played a role in this planning procedure or not. So that's basically my question.
That they're inspecting before occupancy.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So, but nothing else. Thank you very much.
On a special land use is a plan that is, our application is submitted to the planning commission. They'll review it. As part of that review process, we typically have the building inspector, fire chief sign off on it, public works sign off on it, and bring it to planning commission. Planning commission will make a recommendation to city council. So city council will ultimately be the final approval for any of this.
Each individual request has to go through that.
Learning, Roger, I'm learning.
That's okay, no, there's a lot to it. That's one of the other reasons why I wanted to come, because there are new members to the council, and some of this is confusing. I've been around for a long time, I'm still learning. Jerry?
Roger, he's planning on building on, all three parcels in that, on Carmen Street there?
We don't know anything about the third one yet.
Okay,
The second one, there's nothing been proposed. We've seen no site plan.
okay,
Is
so
that
he's
the
only,
original?
he's only proposing for one of the parcels.
That was his idea on the number, the
Okay.
second one, the B parcel.
Okay. And he has no future plans at this time for the other two, or?
But he has already built on it. So
Okay.
I showed you the,
Okay, so there'd
on the
be just
Second
one
Street.
vacant then.
on Second Street.
Okay.
Yeah, those,
Oh, one back, there we go. Yeah, yeah, right next to,
the wetlands and the one. Heard nothing about that one yet. That was original site plan. You know, we get original site plan means nothing. If we have drawing, and I've got a set of drawings here on that, the original one. I found kind of fascinating. There's something else. Where the pipeline makes a turn. Yeah. From Joliet, refinery in Joliet, comes all the way up here, terminal, Citgo, and goes to Buckeye. The pipeline that follows the railroad tracks all the way up 31. And Joliet comes in Joliet. And it carries 1 million gallons of gasoline a day. 40 psi. 1 million gallons a day. And it goes to Citgo and Buckeye, and you see trucks that leave there all the time. They have no markings on. Well, guess what? It's all the same gas. And the only additive is for Shell. It's a little bit. They used to have. I don't know what they have in there now. So wherever you buy gas, and they don't even try to tell you their brand's better anymore. They know it's all fungible commodity, and they'll change once in a while and put the higher grade gas through there. I heard even sometimes they put propane through. Let your propane go through there sometimes. Yeah, I think it does too. So very interesting. Coming right through Fairiesburg. That's why you see all these double bottom trucks leaving. At least 100 a day, coming and going. And you wonder why the railroad crossing 3rd Street is all bumpy all the time. Anyway, thanks for your time. I'm sorry it took so much time, but hopefully it shed a little light on this. Tonight's only the introduction on this.
Yes.
We don't vote on it till.
Nope.
the meeting.
Okay, let's move on. 7B, discussion and take action if appropriate to approve a community service fund letter agreement between the Grand Haven Area Community Foundation and the City of Ferrysburg for the purpose of preserving, restoring, and caring for Fire Barn Park, and to approve the mayor, city clerk, and the city manager to sign all necessary documents. Craig, you got an update on this?
So the Recreation Commission is working on the second phase of improvements for the Fire Barn Park. As part of that work process, they want to raise some funds for a local match to submit a grant to the state. And so what we want to do is make it easy for people to donate to to this project. And by utilizing the Grand Haven Community Foundation, they have the ability to collect online or through your phone via a credit card. And so with this agreement, it would allow the Grand Haven Community Foundation to collect the funds for this fire barn park, and they would just be a holding agent for them, and then we would use them for our local match when the project moved forward.
Will, do you have anything to add from the rec committee?
Not a whole lot more than what Craig added, other than the rec commission strongly encourages this. I believe this is what Spring Lake is doing. Is that correct, Craig? For their Tanglefoot Park. So we kind of borrowed that idea. It's just a good option for us to collect fundraising funds all in one place.
Yeah, it looks like there's a little start, $2,600 already. So I think that looks like a good idea. Yes. Yes.
I'd like to move that we approve the Community Service Fund Letter Agreement between the Grand Haven Area Community Foundation and the City of Ferrysburg for the purpose of preserving, restoring, and caring for Fire Barn Park, and to approve the mayor, clerk, manager to sign all necessary documents.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion and support. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passed. Okay, 7C, discussion and to take action as appropriate to approve a memorandum of understanding between the City of Fairiesburg, Ottawa County Community Action Agency, and the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services to assist water and wastewater customers with arrears due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Not off the top. Typically, the city does not shut off water. If someone was behind in their account, we roll it onto their taxes. So the city always gets paid, and the customer always has the ability to have water.
Honor, at this time, I'd like to make a motion that we not approve the memorandum of understanding between the City of Ferrysburg, Ottawa County Community Action Agency, and the Michigan Department of Public Health and Human Services to assist wastewater customers. Support.
Okay. We have a motion and support to not approve. Any further discussion?
Yes, Your Honor, I'd like to point out a couple things on this memorandum of understanding. Reading through this, it looks like it could possibly put the City of Ferrysburg in a financial responsibility. If you look at just here. Page 4, just above item 5, it says each party shall furnish all labor, equipment, materials, supplies necessary to performance of the MOU activities. And then we move on to section 8 under MDHHS data. On the 5th line down, it says the format request by MDHHS and OCCAAA and or the City of Ferrysburg will assume all costs incurred in complying with supplying the data. And again, it says that any or on page 6, item B, just below 3, again, it states to the effect that OCCAA and or the City of Ferrysburg or any subcontractor may be required a separate agreement. I don't see any other responsible parties in this other than Ferrysburg and the OCAA. Are there any other agencies that are using this, Craig? Would be on this? Okay. I don't think, since we do not shut off water, would we having any?
Okay, any further discussion? Yes.
What do we do, with homeowners who own their home and don't have like an equity fund or like a mortgage where they pay out of the mortgage, their taxes?
They would still be rolled on their taxes.
Yeah, so, okay, so if we have an elderly that's paid off their home and we don't have, we just keep charging them, at what point would we say enough is enough?
So they have to be delinquent for 6 months before we can roll them on the tax bill. So during the spring, we go back through all the accounts and find anybody that's in arrears for 6 months or longer, and then we take that amount and put it on their summer tax bill. Even if they don't pay their water bill, they're still gonna pay it through their taxes. A lot of people don't have mortgage escrows, they just pay them personal. Oh, there's probably, 20, 25 accounts usually every year.
Eventually, they would hit the tax sale for unpaid property taxes,
Correct.
correct?
Yep.
That's kind of my question, what's the end game if, right, exactly. Of course, okay, gotcha.
Any other discussion? Okay, so the motion is not to approve with support. All in favor of not supporting, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion failed. Well, motion carried to not approve. Motion approved not to approve. Okay. 7D, discussion, take action if appropriate to approve a proposal from the Michigan Municipal League, MML, to conduct a classification and compensation study. Craig?
So part of the strategic plan of the city council was to have a wage study done. It was part of fall under the category of succession planning. And so we have a quote here from MML. A number of communities in the state use this company, the Michigan Municipal League, to do their studies. They provided a quote for us. We're asking for 5 positions for about $900 a position for $4,500 to do the study. It was started in April. It'd be done early summer, and then at that time we would look at the wages, what is being paid, and see if there's any adjustments to the employee salaries.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Craig, when was the last time we've had a compensation and benefits study done?
Never.
We have seen some comparisons for city manager in the area, but that is not an actual study, is what you're saying?
That's correct.
Okay.
We have, we get results of, when like a community is doing a wage study, a similar community in our size, so the MML will contact us and ask us for our information, and so they can use it for comparable, and typically we'll get a copy of that study.
Okay. Well, do we have a motion?
Your Honor.
Yes.
I move that we move forward with a strategic plan under succession planning to complete a wage study from the MML.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion and support. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we're skipping 7E. That will be on our next agenda, next meeting. 7F, discussion and take action if appropriate to approve Fire Chief Olthoff recommendation to appoint Steve Chartier to the position of lieutenant.
Your Honor, I'll make the motion to approve the Fire Chief Olthoff's recommendation to approve Steve Chartier to the position of lieutenant.
Okay, we have a motion and support. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion passed. 7G, discussion take action if appropriate to approve Fire Chief Olthoff's recommendation to appoint David Peterson to the position of Assistant Fire Chief of Administration.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion to approve Fire Chief Olthoff's recommendation to approve David Peterson to the position of Assistant Fire Chief of Administration.
I'll second.
We have a motion and support. Any further discussion?
Your Honor,
Yes.
is Fire Chief, Assistant Fire Chief of Administration a new position?
No, that was vacated by Lynn Vanderjack.
Very good.
Any other further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carried. 7H, discussion and to take action if appropriate to approve the mayor's appointment of Rebecca Hopp to the Recreation Commission for a term ending July 1st, 2023.
Your Honor, I move to approve the mayor's appointment of Rebecca Hopp to the Recreation Committee for the term ending July 1st, 2023. Or
Okay, we have motion and support. Further discussion?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I have a couple comments about this. Recreation Commission is all about advising the city council regarding recreation programs and facilities and maintaining our parks and the recreation plan to address our community needs. And I know that we strive really hard to appear to be neutral in considering someone's for a city board or commission. I'm just concerned at the situation of a recent mayor, when we have someone that's running for a candidate as state rep, is politicized, putting us in a political situation that maybe we don't need to be in. And then secondly, reading off what the recreation boards or the recreation commission's mission is, I'm really concerned about Mayor Hopp's history of not supporting the Ferrysburg Nature Preserve, and secondly, not supporting the citizen-led initiative to protect our parks. And so my feeling is that unless I hear otherwise, in support of her, my vote will be no for this, knowing that we have lots of other citizens that could potentially serve.
Okay. Any further discussion?
Your Honor, I have a question for Craig. Craig, is there anything holding back if Rebecca was elected to be on a local board?
No.
If she's serving at the state level?
Okay.
Your Honor?
Yes.
A point on here, I do believe she is a member of the North Ottawa Recreation Board, on the county board, Nora. And so we would have, the city would have representation on that board of a board member, and any concerns they might have, they might, would have a voice on that board, so that would be a benefit in that particular position. Yes.
I'm appointed to Nora.
You think Rebecca's
No,
on as a citizen? She's not on NOR board, right, Craig?
She was when she was mayor.
When she was council.
When
when
she was
a
mayor,
rep.
she was a representative to the
Yeah.
board. Now Will is,
Maybe you're thinking of the Brownfield committee that's on still?
Your Honor, on her application is listing out what she is presently serving already on. Currently serving Vice President
Oh,
of the.
Land Bank Authority.
She's
That's
presently
what- yeah.
serving as the Vice President of the Ottawa County Land Bank Authority, also serving on the Ottawa County Brownfield Redevelopment,
Correct, okay.
and she's also serving on Ferrysburg Redevelopment Tax Force and whatever Master Citizen Planner is. I don't think that's serving on any particular board.
Okay. Land Bank Authority and.
As far as I don't really want to open up a can of worms here, but the support with the Ferrysburg Nature Preserve, that is not I don't think that should be taken into consideration at this point. We got a person that's willing to serve on the board, has served on it in the past, and right now, barring any major issues, I think she should be considered along with anybody else that we have. We don't disqualify anybody because of their past positions. Never have, and I never would. As long as they're qualified to be on that commission, they're willing to serve, I support them.
Your Honor, I would also add that Rebecca did get unanimous support from the Recreation Commission to serve.
Yep. Any? Oh, yes, sure.
Craig, how many spots are open on the rec commission? 1 or 2?
2.
Okay, any other further discussion? Okay, we have motion support. Can we do a roll call vote on this one? Okay.
Councilmember Murdoch, Councilmember Montgomery, Councilmember O'Donnell,
Yes.
Councilmember Kate,
Yes.
Councilmember Sias,
Yay.
Councilmember Carlson,
Nay.
Mayor Blees,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay. 7I, discussion and take action if appropriate to approve the mayor's appointment of Hannon Barnard to the Recreation Commission for a term ending July 1st, 2022.
Your Honor, I'm gonna make a motion to approve the mayor's appointment of Hannon Barnard to the Recreation Committee for a term ending July 1st, 2022.
Support.
Okay, we got motion support. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Okay, 7J, discussion and to take action if appropriate to appoint Jordan Weber to the Planning Commission for a term ending July 1st, 2023.
A motion to approve, Your Honor.
Okay, we have a motion
Support.
and we have support. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passed. Okay, 7K, discussion to take action if appropriate to appoint Heather Hawley to the Planning Commission for a term ending July 1st, 2022.
So moved.
Support.
We have a motion support. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Will, you gave support on that one?
Yes.
Okay. All right, 7L. Discussion, take appropriate action to schedule a work session as a regular agenda item, December 21st. Okay, Craig, let's see what's on here. Suggested topics for the work session, 2022 goals, which is where we're gonna work on those, and then social media policy. Let's see here. Do we have a motion first?
I'll make a motion to support.
Motion and support. Further discussion?
Your Honor, just brief, question for the council. Is everybody gonna be here that week?
December 20th.
21st.
21st? 20th.
Should be the
2 days, 2 weeks from today.
Yeah.
On
Right,
the,
it is the
on the agenda. That's 21st.
Oh. Let's change that. December 20th is a Monday. Okay. So, Will, do you want to revise your motion
Yeah,
for the 20th?
I'll revise to read December 20th.
Okay. All right. Rich, you still want to
I will
support?
support,
Okay. Further discussion?
Your Honor.
Yes.
Could we discuss with council who's gonna be here and who's not on that holiday week? Is everyone gonna be here? Or is that a meeting we need to push back?
Typically, the city council has canceled the first meeting in January. So we can, council's decision whether they want to cancel the 20th or not. The only thing I have for the agenda really is these two work session items at this time.
For the 20th?
Yes.
All right. So you guys, I guess you can, December 20th or January 3rd. Which would you rather have off? Or both?
I'll be here the 20th.
Hey,
I'll be here the 20th.
I'm here.
okay.
Sounds like the 20th.
20th is okay, and maybe we'll take the 3rd off. Ooh. Okay. All right. Yeah, I kind of wanted social media policy brought up again because I want to discuss some things on that, and then I talked to Will about that too. So I think that's good. We're gonna put it on a work session. Okay.
Your Honor, for 2022 goals, is there any way that we can have a representative from the Economic Development Committee here, kind of to explain to us what they're working on and which direction they see the city going in the future? I think that's important to involve with our goals and our planning.
That's a good idea. Myself and Bill Kate will be here. Yeah.
Give us a presentation or something.
Oh.
An
Bill would be
overview or
happy to.
something.
We
Yeah.
expect
I
PowerPoint.
will get with the chairman and see what he wants to be presented to you, and I'll
Yeah.
try to be his voice.
Wonderful, that's all, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Any more discussion on that? We have a motion and support. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, moving down. Number 8, public comments. No more public comments, okay? Number 9, reports, city manager.
No report?
Okay, city council members. Let's start down. Councilmember Murdoch. Oh. Okay. Councilmember Sias.
No report.
Okay. Councilmember O'Donnell. Mayor Pro Tem, sorry.
We had the dinner, city dinner, Friday night. Looks like it was pretty well attended. Just thank you for the city for putting that on for us. And a report.
Okay. Councilmember Carlson.
Yes, I apologize for not being able to attend the city Christmas party last Friday night, as I had my company Christmas party that I had to MC in Grand Rapids. Had the opportunity to both go to the Zoning Board of Appeals that I was recently appointed to, and a meeting with Roger Jonas's fine planning commission group. Simply dazzling, but it's
Must be the chair.
it's always interesting hitting up a new board and trying to pick up steam again. As you well know, it's difficult.
Where am I at?
I did have a question for Craig. Is
Okay.
that something I ask now?
Sure.
Okay. In our packets was, you always give us the check registers. What in the world did we do on Pine Street for 10,500 or 10,700 on lighting?
So there was, some damage on the wires between the lights, and it took them a while to figure out where the damage was. When they put those lights in, they didn't install conduit in the ground. They're just loose wires.
Okay.
Was this all part of the, that same, with the water main leak right in that same area or not?
Well, this was down towards Ridge Avenue, the dam, or the lights out.
Okay.
There was no damage to the lights when the water main broke. The guys shut the electricity off and the issues there.
This was not a budgeted item.
That's correct. It was a
Okay.
repair.
Okay. Totally ancillary.
Okay.
Quite a hit. Thank you.
All right. Councilmember Montgomery.
Yeah, great time seeing everybody at the Ferrysburg Christmas party. Thank you for all the staff and board members for everything they do. I did have a conflict with our last rec commission meeting, but I followed up with the chair. They discussed obviously the community fund, which I think is a great opportunity for us and a great way for our residents to get tax deductible donations to help our parks, specifically Fire Barn Park. And then we they discussed the phase 1 of the project, which will include the parking lot and then that safety critical moving the bike path behind the fire barn, so that the chief and his team don't have to worry about running someone over on the bike path or not seeing someone on the bike path.
Get out of the way.
Letting them, respond to fires quicker and more efficiently. That's all I have.
Okay. Councilmember Kate.
No report.
Okay. Down to the mayor. Okay. Yes, I'd like to thank the city for putting on the holiday dinner. Thought it was well attended. A few weeks ago, I attended a mayor's training institute through the MML. Learned a lot of good information. There was a lot of great speakers, met a lot of mayors from all over the state of Michigan. I found out, guess how many townships are in the state of Michigan? Do you know the answer, Mick? Roger. 1,240 townships. There are 253 villages. How many cities are there? 280. 138 charter townships. Thought that was interesting. 83 counties. Yeah, you're right. You're
Gold
correct.
star.
They had that too. And there's a couple of little things that I learned from the training. The mayor-council relationship between the council and city manager, which they did a presentation on that. Found that was very interesting. I think we have a really good relationship with our city manager and staff. And here's a little tidbit. Council is under no obligation to respond to questions during public comments portion of the meeting. You can say thank you for your comments. Found that very interesting. The MML website has lots of information and resources on it, so we can always use that. And they did review the one thing that was in the presentation was about basic parliamentary procedures, which we use under the Robert's Rules of Order. So I thought that was very interesting too. That's all I have. We have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to support.
Motion. Meeting adjourned. Spit it out. Spit it out.
I think we're just reviewing the goals that are already in place. Yeah. That's what they said. So a couple years. Yeah. It says. So last year we actually met with, actually 2 years ago, we actually met with the county to go through our goals.
Oh, sure. Let's see, if you want to.
Yeah, so we'll just all recommend our ideas.
Okay.
And then we just,
That's,
we'll come back
that's good.
and,
Okay, now tell me about that one.
and,
I think I need to get a driver's license.
we'll add them all to one list, talk about which ones we want to keep, which ones we want to get rid of. And then, we'll rank them all.
that is date of hire, I
And then,
Yeah.
we'll start, the appropriate commission to start working.
Oh, right there.
My best
You would just write citizen. Yeah. Yes, you are.
And I don't know.
They got to me, you know, I bled out on But yeah, I was all freaked out because I thought I was gonna, you know,